Sunfall. The Mad King Jiran's summer palace. A bulwark of Carja might against the howling Forbidden West.
Thanks for the history lesson.
But they have no idea what lies beneath. We will learn much from this, Aloy.
That's what I'm hoping.
I tell you.
The Forbidden West is like California then, right?
If he can't stay true, what hope?
Gladiator Arena.
The Sun Ring. A proud tradition of Carja.
It's not like Missing Meridian. At least,
Give them time. I'm sure they miss it.
Understood. Oh, look at that lens flare. Wow, look at that. That's excellent. That's the fucking thumbnail right there, brother.
Now we get to see if your attack on their focus network was entirely successful. Success. Welcome to the Citadel, Aloy. I'll check back with you in a moment.
Outlanders!
Meantime,
If you want to hear about today's bounties, head for the throne room. You're not going to make any shards by standing out here.
The exiles are hard mercy.
Still don't understand why Outlander like matters. I don't understand the like
I hear the Shadow Conjurer looking for one of their
the like societal expectations in this world, and I kind of don't care. I'm so much more interested in like the past stuff.
By the glory of the sun revealed. Behold, radiant Edaman, the one true Sun King. The light in shadow, whose will is light and whose light is law.
I command Lucius Bahavas to speak in my behalf.
There's like an 8-year-old
By the
girl.
will of radiant Edaman does the sun glare down mercilessly upon the traitor Uthid. To the hunter who brings his head to us shall go a bounty of 500 shards.
More prisoners than royalty, don't you think? Love your hair.
Wow.
You and I need to chat, little huntress.
Yes,
The green
ma'am.
tent down in Shadowside. I'll be waiting.
Yes, ma'am.
kind of busy.
We both know you're no killer for hire. Uthid is innocent. So come see me while there's still time to save him.
I'll definitely come see you.
the way in I spoke of is right behind you.
You've got to be kidding.
Not at all. And you needn't worry about the Kestrels. They'll be too busy acting important to pay attention to you.
First time in the Citadel, gotta see the Sun Ring from on high.
But the Kestrels.
Ah, they want us to
This is
see
insane.
this, boy.
The balustrade.
Makes quite an
It's a
impression.
short drop from there.
No? I see it. She did not climb it like I thought she would. You know what it is? It's that this game doesn't have that, like, hold A to run up the wall mechanic that Assassin's Creed has.
The other side of the tower. Look for
Yeah,
events.
I'm struggling to climb the wall here, Lance Riddick. Alright? I'm struggling to climb the wall properly. Or was I supposed to go down here? Motherfucker. Well, I am supposed to go down here. Okay. Oh, I see it.
I see you've been here before.
Obviously. Now, it's very important that you hear what I'm about to say. I've shown you the way in. But this humble vent marks a point of no return. Before you descend into the depths here, you should be fully committed, equipped, and focused. No distractions. If you have errands to run, do them first or hold your peace. I won't tolerate whining. Is that clear?
You'll
This is the
tolerate
point of
when
no
I give you
return for the
sounds.
game, I think.
I didn't ask you along for the ride.
Is there anything else we want to do? I don't think so. Onward.
I'm heading down.
I've spent a lifetime trying to uncover the secrets of this world. Where the machines came from. How the old ones achieved such marvels only to fall into silence and death. A lifetime of failure. As year by year, decade after decade, I hit walls I could not break, doors I could never breach.
Hello.
Until a Nora huntress marched out of the savage east. And voila, for her, all the deepest secrets of the earth were laid bare. I suspect you will have an easier time with this door than I did years ago.
Hold for identiscan. Genetic profile confirmed. Entry authorized. Malfunction. Malfunction.
Bruh.
Malfunction.
Are you kidding me?
You don't hear me laughing.
Shut up. There's gotta be another way. Hey! Elizabeth Sobeck here! Requesting access!
Access request acknowledged. Root command functions available. Do you wish to proceed?
I do! Get me through this door!
Analyzing. Primary access inoperable due to mechanical failure. Emergency venting procedure likely to circumvent blockage. Do you wish to proceed?
Sure.
Yes.
Emergency venting authorized.
Is it gonna, like, kill everybody in the city?
I underestimated. Too bad now,
Yeah, get rolled, the city.
Guess you can't have everything.
That will draw attention. We won't have this place to ourselves for long now.
We? Last I checked, I was the one risking my life down here.
Yes,
Stop being a
fine.
dick to
Now, will you
him.
please get moving. There's so much to learn in less time than I'd hoped.
Welcome to Project Zero Dawn.
Zero Dawn. We found it.
Are you really so surprised?
Facility diagnostics detect multiple failures.
Mornings of Fortune is Dr. Povich, an example of receptionist need for additional support. We appreciate that Zero Dawn is an immensely complicated project. As a staff who serve on the front line, we're tired of being neglected. As we have already requested, we need human translators fluent in Polish, for example. Security staff who can subdue enraged embryologists. Dermal sedatives to calm persons who are screaming in Polish while hurling chairs. So many Polish. While hurling chairs and vases at reception set, for example. Yes, most of the candidates are reasonably calm and well behaved, but we need help handling the exceptions to that rule. Please respond.
Attempting repair.
So, what was this room?
An entrance hall, perhaps. Have a look around.
Reception staff continues to require additional support managing ZD candidates. They arrive at the facility. Many are frightened or confused. Some are highly agitated. They're not the sort of persons who are accustomed to having information withheld from them. At minimum, we need human translators. The lag bots are not sufficient, and mild sedatives for the extreme cases. And in all, support would be welcome. Perhaps you can start by responding to one of these mails. So, I wonder if it's like they reprogrammed the robots to like I don't know. I have so many theories. I have so many game theories.
Please take a seat and wait for your name to be called. A selection of beverages and snacks are available.
A smaller room.
If possible to improve the soundproofing between VR1 and the lounge area. Most of the candidates stay quiet during presentation. Once who scream and sobbing and plainly heard by the candidates waiting their turn in the lounge. Just a thought. Presentation? For fucking what? What is this? What kind of room is this? Restock or else. The 5th time, please restock the lounge selection of herbal teas. I have to listen to one more egghead throw a tantrum because we're out of organic cucumber mint or blackberry sage. Virilius. I'm gonna lose it. Please respond. And this time, no tempest in a teapot or steep demand jokes.
Please proceed into viewing room 1 for an important message regarding the purpose.
What was this place?
A holographic theater.
CD01 data intact. Initiating playback.
Welcome to Project Zero Dawn. I am General Harris, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the United States of America. I'm sure you've heard the rumors that Zero Dawn is a top-secret super-weapons program, the technological miracle that will save us from the Pharaoh Plague, if Operation Enduring Victory can hold off the robots long enough. The reason I'm sure you've heard the rumors is that I'm the one who spread them, and they are all lies. Zero Dawn is not a super-weapons program, and it will not save us. Nothing will save us. And here's why. By the time the glitch was noticed, it was already too late.
Siva.
Nothing could stop the Pharaoh Plague. Nothing can. Its robots will continue to replicate and devour the biosphere. Life on Earth will be destroyed. Our planet reduced to a barren sphere. Global extinction is inevitable. No matter how many we kill, the robots just keep exponentially making more. If we had their deactivation codes, we could shut them all down. The entire swarm. But since their cryptographic protocols use polyphasic entangled waveforms, cracking a code set would take half a century. At best, we've got 16 months. Not exactly what you'd call a survival option. The destruction of a biosphere is not the sort of apocalypse you can wait out in a fallout shelter or a space station. There will be no Earth left to reclaim. Just a lifeless, toxic rock with several million Pharaoh robots on it, hibernating. Waiting for something to eat. This is the horrible truth behind the lies of Operation Enduring Victory. My lies. Lies designed to inspire millions of innocents to sacrifice themselves in battle. Why? One reason. To buy time for you and the work you will do here. Zero Day. The day that life on Earth ceases to exist is coming fast. It cannot be stopped. The hope of Zero Dawn is that something new might come after. But I will leave it to Elizabeth Sobek to shine that thin ray of light into the darkness. Harris, out.
You think Hades is the...
That doesn't make sense. Life on Earth didn't cease to exist.
He said it could not be stopped.
But it was. Somehow Elizabeth saved us. I've got to keep looking. Find out how she did it. Kestrels. They got in. Through the vents.
Let nothing stop you from learning the truth.
Spread out! If it moves, kill it!
Accurate, what is this place? So these mechanical monstrosities, they don't just kill people, they feed off them? Not just people, all organic matter. Every living thing dissolved into nutrients. Millennia of evolution liquefied. The miracle of life reduced to bloody biofuel. In a word, yes. Who did this? Pharaoh? That arsehole. Is he here? No, Doctor. Please, tell him Tom Pike wants a word. Now, get off! Get off! Doctor, please! You get Ted Pharaoh in here!
Want to discuss?
Whew. So Mama, she was right.
Pardon?
My mother, she took her Bible real serious. Not just Texas Bubble serious, Pentecostal serious. Favorite chapter? Revelations. Now, I didn't always understand her on account of all that speaking in tongues and such, but when she did use her words, there was always end times this and lake of fire that on account of sinful lifestyles. Speaking of which, mind if I smoke?
A tobacco cigarette.
Sorry, darling. My taste run classic. Compliments to your team tracked me down. Been a price on my head 18 months now. Sterling Malky was me, don't mind admitting. Been plenty of snakesters chasing the bounty too. But I kept the zigging to their zag. How'd you finger me?
I believe Dr. Sobek listed you as an alpha candidate. Priority snatch and grab.
Always suspected she had a little thing for me. Hey, I don't suppose you got real coffee in this place. You know, blood coffee, conflict cappuccinos.
Mr. Tate, I'm clearing you to proceed. Just go. You previously worked for Pharaoh Automated Systems.
On the Chariot Line self-replication routines. I came here thinking this was a rendition. When your people took me, I thought, about time. I've been trying to swallow the guilt every day since...
Would you like to take a moment?
No, I really hoped Zero Dawn was a way to undo it all. My work. And I'm sorry to say I was ever proud of it, but Ted could really sell a concept, and in the labs, in the light of creation, that first test run, when you saw they understood their own structures, could rebuild themselves from memory and light, there were no limits. God, there were no limits.
Understood. Play the motherfucking thing.
Look, let's cut the mystery. You're building a colony ship. It's obvious. And it's not gonna fly. I mean, literally. Remember the Odyssey? That multinational heap of space junk that's been in graveyard orbit since 57? That went nowhere real slow. And you have to get somewhere real fast.
Stop us now.
Do you have any idea the immensity of the challenge to prep a new colony ship in time?
To be clear, I'm not a worker on the project.
Do you even understand how few people it could save? The whole generation ship concept is not gonna happen. It's the first thing you'd abandon in favor of embryonics. For that kind of storage, we're talking a lot of bulk, a lot of power, a lot of resources. So even if you do it, even if you build it and point it at Sirius X, there's no room for people on that thing, all right?
If you could try to remain calm.
You people are crazy if you think you're getting off this rock. No one's getting off.
Medical.
I'm sure you now understand the urgency of why we brought you here, Ms. Okilo.
Captain Okilo, are you trying to thank me for not resisting?
I believe we couldn't negotiate a diplomatic solution.
When it came to my country's lithium, it was always a swarm that would be sent to negotiate. Metallurgic International, US Robot Command. The markings changed, but the robots were the same.
You have had considerable experience in human-robot conflict.
Yes, and I've got the prosthetic limbs to show it. Yet I continue to face this horror, even though the challenge was great. Cyber warfare. I thought Zero Dawn would be a Manhattan project to generate the deactivation codes. With the resources I had, I estimated code breaking to be a hopeless endeavor. I was almost looking forward to being proved wrong.
Unfortunately, your estimation was correct.
As your General Hera said. So then, you did not bring me here to commiserate. What is left?
Understood. Counselor Guidelines 1. Candidates must be allowed to speak and ask questions and be given the necessary time to fully absorb the information they have received. It is important to be aware that candidates have just been exposed to triggers of severe mental and emotional trauma. Do not assume silence, or our calmness indicates acceptance. It is essential to stress that all other options for combating the Pharaoh Plague and preserving the continuation of human life have been considered and found unworkable. Communicate this fact calmly, but clearly and firmly. Familiarize yourself with data on the catastrophic environmental impact of nuclear engagements versus the swarm. Addendum B1. An unfeasibly of maintaining the life. An unfeasibility of maintaining life in orbital, lunar, or undersea structures. Addendums C1, C2, and C3. So that you can counter candidates' objections in depth. If a candidate asks for time, allow loan to review supplementary information. Allow this without hesitation. Be sure to inform security personnel so that the candidate can be monitored for attempts at self-harm. Candidates should only be cleared to proceed to Presentation 2 if you believe their mental state is sufficiently stable. Note that real-time support will be available via your focused security and medical crisis teams are data corrupted.
With Suzanne Alpert, environmental scientist. Doctor?
I'm sorry, I wasn't,
Just stating your name. What were you thinking about, Doctor?
Nothing the General said, not really. I was on the Syzygy East Response Team in 2051, just after the second earthquake compromised the reactor. I still dream about it, after all these years. The red zone spreading on the imaging, slowly, so slowly, like a hand opening its fingers.
Your involvement in that event is why you were asked for by name.
Really? That's interesting. Because nothing worked. Nothing could grow there again. It was a catastrophic failure. But the red zone is a blip compared to global-scale biomass reduction. The biosphere and hydrosphere will collapse, render the Earth uninhabitable long before the robots finish us. Enduring victory can't buy time against that. So, you'd better show me what Zero Dawn really is.
CD02 data intact. Initiating playback.
Elizabeth Sobek.
You've heard the bad news, and it's all true. The Pharaoh Plague is devouring the biosphere. Life itself will cease to exist. But does that have to be the end? What if we could give life a future? What if we could build a kind of seed from which, on a dead planet, life could blossom anew? This is the aim, the hope, of Project Zero Dawn. To create a super-intelligent, fully automated terraforming system and bring life back from lifelessness. What would such a system require? At its core, it would need a true AI, fully capable of making the trillions of decisions necessary to reconstitute the biosphere. An immortal guardian, devoted to the reflourishing of life, We call it Gaia. Mother Nature as an AI. But that's just the core of the system. She will need to be surrounded and empowered by a comprehensive suite of subordinate functions. Think of them as extensions of Gaia's mind, each dedicated to a specific purpose. Now, these aren't AIs, but make no mistake, each presents an engineering challenge more profound than anything the human species has ever before attempted. Hardware that preserves and then gestates the billions of seeds and embryos from which life will be reborn. The construction of underground facilities to hold it all. And that's just the start. We don't have to build the entire system. The beauty of a fully automated terraforming system is that it can build itself. Now, over the days to come, you'll learn how all these functions, all these pieces that you'll be working on, fit together. How we'll race the clock to execute our harvest initiatives, write the software, build the tech and the facilities. How we'll lock it down and seal it up before the inevitable occurs. But even more important, you'll know how it doesn't end here. How Gaia will generate those deactivation codes General Harris talked about, and build the transmission arrays to broadcast them, shutting down the Pharaoh robots for good.
The Spire.
How Gaia
The Spire
will not just
thing.
build, but imagine any conceivable robot it needs to do its work across centuries. From detoxifying the Earth's ravaged atmosphere and poisoned seas, to the regreening of the Earth from cryopreserved seed stalks, to rewilding the Earth with animal life. And then, when all that is done, how a new generation of human beings, spawned at cradle facilities around the globe, will partake of Apollo, the vast archive of human knowledge and cultural achievement from which they will learn of us, our world. And most important, how not to repeat our mistakes. It's not an impossible dream. It is within our grasp if we work tirelessly and stop at nothing to achieve it. We can't stop life from ending. But if you will help me, help Gaia, we can give it a future. Join me and help make that future real.
Understood.
Whole Earth destroyed, but then remade?
Yes, by a machine. Machine creation.
Elizabeth did this. For life. For us. But why Hades then?
We're now in possession of information regarding the true nature and the purpose of Project Zero Dawn, classified far above top secret. As such, we regret that you cannot be allowed to leave this facility. There are 3 options available to you at this point. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like if you learn about the if you experience the first fucking presentation, they're not going to let you leave anyway. You have 3 options available to you. At this point, consider each carefully. Trained counselors standing by to assist you in making this choice. 1. Participation. You'll be assigned to a sub-project team based on your area of expertise. You should be aware that your way forward will be difficult, and the project outcome is uncertain. You will be expected to work a minimum of 80 hours per week. Minimum of 80 hours per week. And your communication. That's a lot. That's what? 16 hours a day? You just work and sleep all the time. And your communications with family members will be strictly limited to a monitor and monitored in real time. Upon successful completion of this project, you and your immediate family of 2 persons of your choosing will be transferred to the Elysium sealed habitat to live out the remainder of your natural lives. Indefinite detention. Should you choose to decline participation in Project Zero Dawn, you will be confined indefinitely. You will give them 48 hours to reconsider, after which your decision to refuse participation will be considered irrevocable. Every reasonable effort will be made to make your term in confinement as comfortable as possible. You will not be permitted to contact with the outside world. Death within 18 months due to the feral plague is inevitable. When Zero Dawn facilities abandon detainees who do not wish to opt into medical euthanasia will be released. Medical euthanasia. The information you've just received understandably calls into question your purpose of continuing to live. If you would prefer to end your life at this point, pain-free medical euthanasia is available. Jesus. That's rough. That's real rough. A 48-hour waiting period is required, during which time you may instead opt for participation or confinement. Please notify a counselor that you are ready to make your choice if you have further options. I mean, you work on the project, I guess, right? Like, at least gives you a little bit of a chance.
If it was part of Gaia, how'd it end up in the wreckage of a Pharaoh robot? And why does it want to kill me? And Apollo, the archive of knowledge, what happened to that?
And Hephaestus, taking over Cyan. I'm as confused as you are. Maybe the answers lie ahead.
Of course I'll do it. To be given the opportunity to rebuild what the damage that I don't feel worthy of it, but I will do it, absolutely.
I want to stress that this was never about your culpability.
It is to me. Dr. Sobek, Margot, they were smart to get out of Pharaoh when they did, but not one of us took it as a warning sign. It just told ourselves that we're cut out for the BTRI cabals. That's the better than rapid innovation. Better at competing, better than the next guy, a better killing machine. Isn't it just amazing how a century and a half of science fiction did nothing to swerve our species from the path of doom? I mean, I'm done with that life. I mean, I will work hard, twice as hard, to earn this, for my family to have a place in Elysium. I never thought that there could be atonement.
Like, it's literally starting over. It's not even like it's a matter of like, well, we're starting over because of nuclear weapons or whatever. We're literally starting over.
If you're still nauseous.
No, the inhibitors have kicked in. I can't feel the back of my tongue. I wish I could tell you I'd believe in this. But the damage is too great, too extensive, too complete. With all respect to Dr. Sobek's work at Miriam, no. No. Life doesn't always find a way to keep going. Sometimes it never comes back. Like Syzygy East. Like the Congo. Like Timo. Like us. That's our reward? A buried city full of terminal patients waiting out the clock?
You grow old together, with your loved ones, in safety.
I don't have loved ones. I suppose I could start a family?
I'm afraid not. All inhabitants of Elysium will be medically sterilized. A habitat capable of sustaining a starting base of 2,000 individuals for up to 100 years is a huge challenge, Dr. Alpert. If the population grows instead of diminishes, everyone will be dead inside 30 years.
I knew it. I just couldn't bring myself to say the words.
I'm sorry?
Finish it. Medical euthanasia. I want no part of this. I just want it over.
I see. Protocols require a 48-hour waiting period, after which...
Ooh. This is rough.
See to make sure I behave this time?
Security. For your protection. Would you like to discuss how you're feeling?
Sure. I'll tell you. Surprised. No, flabbergasted. Like my own man would say, flabbergasted. That vein
it obviously
pumping in his
works.
forehead. I thought you people were just completely underprepared for a spaceflight project. But now I can see it's worse. Much worse. Sobek is a total fantasist, a dangerous fantasist. He's kind of blue skying. It's... Jesus. I'm sorry we wasted each other's time. I'm ready to leave now.
I'm afraid that's not possible.
Everything you're talking about here isn't possible.
I recommend you read the documents regarding your options.
I've seen enough. I'm getting out of here. What are you... You don't... Get your hands off me!
Alert. Medical wing inaccessible.
Medical wing very accessible. Oh, it's the euthanasia room. Oh, no. Understood. Shackles. Granted shackles. Sweet. My favorite. Well, that's the worst thing I've seen today. Oof. That hurts my soul. Excuse me, I would like to. Thank you. For debriefing after presentation 2, it is vitally important that candidates choose to participate in Project Zero Dawn voluntarily and knowingly, without additional coercion and without value judgment on the part of the counselor. Confirm for candidates that they were selected due to their skill sets and accomplishments. Emphasize that their dedicated participation in Zero Dawn will increase the project's chances of success. Frame participation in Zero Dawn as an opportunity to respond actively in the face of an overwhelming threat. Candidates may question the fairness of their selection, validate such projections as normal, even admire responses, emphasize the value of candidates' expertise to the future, not just of humanity, but terrestrial life as a whole. Likewise, candidates may balk at the morality of extending their lifespans to those of the loved ones beyond 0 day. Validate their hesitation, acknowledge that while the reward of Elysium is not fair, it will be earned if possible. Redirect their ethical misgivings towards greater commitment to the project. When candidates challenge the plausibility of Project Zero Dawn, permit them to re-review Dr. Sobek's presentation as many times as they wish to allow access to the self-medical articles G01 through P20. Allow them to suspend the interview to fully process this documentation. A significant minority of candidates will elect for medical euthanasia. It is important to receive this decision kindly and without judgment. Advise them of the 48-hour waiting period during which counselors will be available to discuss their decision. Emphasize that euthanasia will not occur without repeated consent when the procedure is scheduled to take place. No one will be euthanized against his or her will. Candidates who elect indefinite detention must be informed that they have 48 hours to reverse this decision, after which the decision data corrupted. Ooh. Ooh.
Intruder! Get her!
Let's do this.
Whatever you do, die now.
Motherfuckers. Trying to kill me? Is this our indefinite detention facility here? Yeah, probably.
I hashed it out with them, what the point of Artemis was. I made it clear I wasn't on board for a global zoo. We haven't exactly proved ourselves to be great custodians in the past few thousand years. So the idea of a reconstituted biosphere, well, it's horrifying, isn't it? A complete horror show. We have no right to take a best guess at this stuff. But the alternative? Nothingness. For there to have been all this, and then nothing. And with Charles Ronson running the show, I respect him. He's got a passion to him. He's hot-blooded. So I said I'll do it. I'll put my all into this, literally. When the project is done, I'll take the medical option, thank you. Counselor said I might change my mind. I told him that he didn't know me very well then. For life's sake, I'll do the dirty work. But I want no part of this pathetic attenuated future on offer. I'm an outdoors man. Never did like the feel of solid state lighting on my skin. And a wee bit of a claustrophobe anyway.
This is so interesting.
Zero Dawn. It is art, in a way. An expression on the grandest scale. But there is so much unfairness. Why was I chosen? Was it decided by committee? By algorithm? My family will be saved because I happen to graduate in art history? Is this right?
Dr. Sauvé? Christina Sauvé?
Yes.
Is that Ghost?
I met a man, another
Was that Nolan North?
Fields of Bauhaus and the New Materialists. But he once attended one of my talks. Another unfair chance. Of all the many people in that auditorium, that we should both be here now. And yet, I feel more accepting of my fate. No, it is not fair. Not at all. But for the sake of my family, for the sake of art. Art is alive. It must be able to speak from beyond history and echo in the future, not perish into oblivion. This opportunity, I must do this.
Now, those lame FBI black hats at Mockingbird back in the day, I enjoyed schooling them. But maybe I went in too hard on this poor counselor. She was cute, and just going down a checklist after all. Couldn't expect her to see how ridiculous Zero D's ambitions are. God's own budget thrown at a kid playing with a hologram sculptor? Palms up, honey. I'm just calling it like it is. Hey, look, Mom, I'm making nature. Now, if nature is so important, why not let nature take its course? Extinction? That's natural. Zero Dawn? No, ma'am, that ain't. Heck, it's so unnatural to be called an abomination back home, and you know it. That's why you're hiding it. Meanwhile, my little honey of a counselor, she's munching the inside of her cheek. Bad habit. She chewed one of her nails, too, just one. Not your day, was it, little sweet pea? Saw her quota slipping away. Said, I assume you intend to decline the assignment, Mr. Tate. You kidding me? 18 months hard labor in exchange for 30 years lounging around Elysium watching porn? Sign me up.
Oh, so many things I just collected.
Power's down.
Is there another route?
I've done this before. Just need my focus. Here we go. Another one of these.
This puzzle.
There's a part missing. Maybe there's a storage area nearby.
Left. Up. Left, down, right.
Done. I should check the door nearby.
Hey, I'm done with Brett's incompetence, okay? Somehow, he managed to install an H-emitter node backwards. Everything's in reverse. I don't get paid to clean up Brett's messes. If you want it fixed, send him up to storage for a new emitter, not me.
Alright, Amanda Holiday.
Parker out.
Alright, Amanda Holiday. Whatever you say. What is over here? Ah, does this open this door? Oh, no, we're good. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see the regenerative biosphere
Looks intact.
as the solution. guess it makes sense. The only thing that I don't understand yet, that might be made apparent or maybe not, is why, if
Get that door open.
If the machine's entire purpose is to eat everything, then why aren't they eating everything right now? Is it because they're not the swarm anymore, and because they're not, like, Hades controls them or something? Down, right, up. Up, left, down, right, up. Up, left, down, right, up. Pardon? Oh, it's upside down. Down. Left. See it. Down. Left. Up. Down, left, up, right, down.
That did it. Door should have power.
Now to see what lies beyond it.
Demands. How did they get here?
Eclipse. They're here.
Avoid contact.
Lines look good.
Gaia. It's up there. Second floor.
Can you reach it?
So much for avoiding contact.
I'll kill.
Company.
Excuse me, that's very rude of you.
Shadow.
That's the last of them. Or not.
More mans.
Keep here.
Room's clear. For a moment, anyway.
Then get moving. You have to find Gaia.
Let's go back from Margot Shen. Oh, you weren't kidding about Gaia's prediction for animal morphology, sure. Not totally unexpected given the rough natural terrain her bots will have to navigate. Oh, are the robots... Are the robots confused? Her robots. Her bots. But I agree that there's something deeper going on here. Her designs aren't just functional, they feel almost well tributes. In the world that comes to mind as though she's already mourning their loss, and not just for the disappearing fauna of our time, but creatures from the fossil record too. References to megafauna in some of her designs, so cool. Well, whatever Gaia thinks up Hephaestus will empower her to build. So, Yellowstone is the power station, essentially. Just wish I could still be around for a century or two to see what she makes. Margot.
Hello, I'm Margot Shen, and this is Hephaestus. As the name might tip you off, this is going to be the subordinate function that Gaia will use to make lots and lots of robots. Her personal forge. Except, it's not that simple.
Which was taken over by...
So, like,
You probably noticed that only about a third of you are robotics engineers. The rest, experts in machine cognition, virtual heuristics, that stuff. Well, that's because we aren't going to be the ones designing and building robots. The last thing we want is to burden Gaia with a bunch of outmoded 21st century designs. Waste of time. Our purpose is to empower Gaia to build the robots, and not just build, imagine, from scratch. Any robot she needs for any conceivable purpose, designed and fabricated at a snap of a finger. Hers. Her finger. So, Hephaestus isn't really the forge. It's more like the knowledge of craft and ingenuity of a mastersmith to wield the hammer. Encoded as software. Virtual creativity made real. Gaia's already learning. In simulation, she's doing some very creative things with fractal assembly and animal morphologies. Her designs aren't about to win the Liam Prize anytime soon, but hey, everyone has to start somewhere. So, yes, time to get started. Let's do this.
I don't get it. If Hephaestus was part of a system designed to save life, why would it use cyan to make a cauldron? And churn out machines with no other purpose than to kill people?
Somehow it's gone rogue. I don't understand why or how. But whatever the reason, it explains why machines have become more dangerous over the years.
Full steam ahead. Margot Shen loves the subject. Margot, if I doubted your brilliance as in the slightest, I would have picked you as the Hephaestus Alpha. You need to stop worrying about your age and communication style. You are who you are. Have confidence in yourself and know what you're doing. Case in point, the latest draft of your planet construction and stocking of bootstrap silos to store raw materials is excellent. This, combined with your design for the AM Foundry core and the Foundry site selection plan, add to a comprehensive plan. It's time to start construction. One detail: consult with Iomite Okilo before you finalize the silo inventories. Hephaestus' first task will be to fabricate the robots that will construct the waveform broadcast towers Minerva will use to transmit and deactivate the deactivation codes. Any exotic materials needed for the towers should be accounted for in the inventory plan.
Hello, I'm Margot Shen, and this is Hephaestus. As the name might tip you off, this is going to be the subordinate function that Gaia will use to make lots and lots of robots. Her personal forge. Except...
Okay. It wasn't cold up above us.
I think this is it. Elizabeth Sobek's office. But more Eclipse.
Careful now.
More Eclipse fucking where? It said more Eclipse. I don't see no more damn Eclipse, brother. I don't see shit. I don't know what you're talking about.
Welcome to Apollo, the collective memory of the human species and the wellspring of knowledge for future generations. I am Samina Ebaji. Until recently, I was director of the International Collective Memory Institute in New Tehran. As a heritage professional, I devoted my career to the preservation of human knowledge, creative endeavor, and cultural achievement. Apollo is, therefore, the ultimate embodiment of a lifelong passion, albeit under the very worst circumstances imaginable. The challenges before us are immense. Specifically, we will have to design and implement 4 major initiatives simultaneously. First, the construction of data repositories in cradle facilities around the world, ensuring redundancy. Second, the collection and processing of a projected 180 million discrete data entries. 42 zettabytes of data in Mandarin, English, Spanish, and Arabic. Third,
the transferal and encoding of all that data onto DNA encapsulated in synthetic fossils. The only medium capacious and durable enough to safeguard it without degradation for the centuries to come. And last, but not least, the development of the holographic interface and gamified curricula, by which future humans will commune with Apollo, progressively unlocking heuristic learning modules, leveling up their knowledge and skills they will need to take control of the terraforming system. That is the future towards which all of our efforts will be directed. Not just the preservation of the past, but the seed for the flourishing of a new tree of knowledge. Welcome, and let us begin.
So, this is Apollo. And the winner is Encapsulated DNA. Over the past 10 days, I performed an exhaustive review of data, storage solutions, magnetic, optical, quantum, even the energy, Trinity tech that FAS was shilling a year or so ago. But every other solution has one or more fatal shortcomings: too heavy to transport, too massive to install in the allotted space, too power intensive over the centuries, too prone to failure past 300, 400 years, etc. Encapsulated DNA will easily hold 40 plus zettabytes. Processing for Apollo. There are still many details to finalize, of course. To start with, we need to select the inert material in which we'll embed the molecules, already testing 16 candidate materials, as well as design and fabricate power systems, field relinquaries. I'll keep the DNA at negative 18 degrees Celsius for 1,000 plus years. As long as I assure that you didn't factor into my decision, may I confess I deem it entirely fitting, indeed preposterous, that we will be using the very building blocks of life to preserve human knowledge from mechanized extinction. It's not just ironic, but heroic. Life is the hero beating back the forces of oblivion. In any case, much to do until next time. Understood. So much lore. This bad boy can fit so much lore. I'll update. Over the past 2 months, the full benefit of the procurement of the copy of Homer Archive from the far zenith has made itself known. As a result, all of Apollo's key deliverables are on schedule. Apollo has already suppressed 40 million discrete data entries and continues to grow. The physical science modules are effectively complete, with soft science modules close behind. World entry, cultural data, and media archives are also on schedule. Language preservation is wrapping up a bit ahead of schedule due to falling short of our goal to preserve 4,500 languages. Though the tragic loss of Papua New Guinea doomed that goal from the onset, with attendant curricula development about to begin. Speaking of the heuristic curricula, they are performing well in testing, with children and adolescents demonstrating high levels of engagement with and trust in the Aristotle and aphasia personae. Aspasia. Played enough fucking Assassin's Creed. That shit. Personally, I find them highly engaging, especially when they debate. I wish half my professors had been so entertained. Heard Apollo. Heard more of the man. This guy's about to get fucking stealth assassinated right now. Can I not? There was a man over here a second ago.
Help me, brothers! Can't afford any more losses. Fight!
Did not cancel the shot properly.
That's the last of them. Along once more.
In what should have been a cave of wonders. Look around. See if anything is left.
Dr. Sobek, Please archive this testimonial in Apollo. Cross-reference to all mentions of my name and Operation Enduring Victory. My name is General Aaron Harris. From 2060 to 2066, I served as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the highest-ranked officer of the United States Armed Forces. The tenure of my command included strategic planning and oversight of Operation Enduring Victory, a falsehood perpetrated on the civilian populations of the United States and other nations during the last 14 months of life on this planet. Before the Pharaoh Plague, I did my job and did it well. I was bold and decisive, crafty in political maneuvers. It wasn't an accident that I rose to my position and became the commander of the largest mechanized force ever assembled. But to what end? My only lasting achievement was the extinction of life on Earth. And my one redeeming act, if any, was to delay that extinction by days or weeks, by throwing more death at it. It is my hope that there will be no need for men like me in the world to come. If you are one of the people of that future world listening to this message, please know that I am sorry and that I wish you well. Sincerely, Aaron Harris.
Understood. This way? Bad boy can fit so much lore.
Welcome to Hades, Zero Dawn's extinction failsafe protocol, the ultimate killer app. Now, I know what you're thinking. The purpose of Gaia is to resurrect life. So why give her a subordinate function, only purpose of which is to wipe out life all over again? I mean, what the what? Just plumb crazy.
What?
Well, no, it isn't. Reconstituting a biosphere? That's a tall order. Tech smart as Gaia may be, odds are she won't get it right the first time. I mean, imagine you're Gaia, 200 years from now, and this new biosphere growing, it's all gone wrong. Alkalines are skyrocketing, coniferous forests eroding under the lash of superstorms that would have drowned Noah. It's chaos. Spinning top that won't stop wobbling. Now what are you gonna do? Release phase 1 organisms into that hot mess? Hope their CO2 and methane can balance out what you got started? Hell no. What you're gonna do, Gaia, is step aside while Hades takes over and does what you're just too darn nurturing and life-loving to do, which is burn that misbegotten mess of a biosphere to the ground so Gaia can start over. Okay, not burn, more like reverse terraforming operations and suffocate it. But you get the idea. Hades takes the biosphere back to zero. Square one, blank slate. And then, only then, does it hand the steering wheel back to Gaia and say, try again, old girl. And better this time, or we'll have to do this again. That's Hades. It's pretty badass when you think about it. Extinction on demand. Death on speed dial. All for the greater good, of course, but still, kind of metal.
Damn right, yeah.
So welcome to Hades. Welcome to the void.
To the void.
Okay, so if that's the original purpose of Hades, why does it want me extinct? And how's it end up in the wreckage of a Pharaoh Titan, getting worshipped by the Eclipse like some kind of god?
If Hephaestus went rogue, why not Hades too?
That's what I'm thinking, but why? And what caused it?
Keep searching, and perhaps we'll find the answer.
Always complaints. Let me confounded Lizzie Bashcore. Anyone who says the old TT codes to Bashcore is straight up lying, and you know it. Old Tav don't make no truck. No, old Tav don't make no truck with commercialized razzle dash. Nuh-uh. Heck, I'd rather guzzle a liter of Kiritam runoff than listen to my great Gary Swan for 30 seconds. Ain't the guy swear on my mom's grave, and she was religious. Hell yeah, it's Florida man. He's here. Aw, that ain't Bashkar blasting Hades' lip. Shaking the walls. Rattling folks' teeth is death metal, girl. Classical music, 80s and 90s mostly. Got me some Dutch deathcore, some Japanese gore grind, some Swedish cannibal theme stuff too. Stop by if you want to listen. Or heck, just come within 50 meters of the lab. Ain't no Bashkar you'll see, or hear rather. And this screech that rends the air, and feel that throbbing pulse on the floor, and walls and ceilings shallowing you up like you was Jonah trapped in the gullet of a gothic deathfish. Hallelujah. Praise be the Lord. After those requests turned down, no can do, Lizzie. This is how I code. Turn down my death metal, might as well. Give up stimulants, chocolate malts, and industrial accident vids. Last I heard, we were supposed to be coding Hades down here. Am I really supposed to be coding an extinction protocol without death metal to inspire me? No, I don't think so. Stay cool. Hell yeah, brother. Fastest protocol. Tate here, just popped 3 blues and I earned it. Finally figured out Goldilocks solution to Gaia, rather extreme executive authority. If that ain't worth 10 to 12 hours, is this the same dude? 10 to 12 hours of stream time was this before this? I don't think it's the same guy. Every usurpation protocol I designed failed in simulation cause maybe it is. Because either too hard or too soft. Too hard and degraded the Gaia core. Sure, it peered her it pried her figurative fingers off the figurative driving wheel so Hades could take control. But breaking her fingers, sometimes her arms too, so that couldn't fly. Everything depends on Gaia taking control back after Hades has done his business. I had to find a solution that didn't give Gaia any worse for wear. That didn't leave Gaia any worse for wear. Too soft, and Gaia only pretends to relinquish control. In simulation after simulation, Hades would take command of the terraforming system. The reverse operations only to have Gaia lurk in the background, quietly re-reversing processes and falsifying telemetry to hide its interference. Sneaky. I swear, ain't nothing Gaia wouldn't do to keep life going, even if it was just simulated plant life. Turns out, the just right solution is to isolate Gaia in a protective code shell, preserving its integrity, then unseat it from command position so Hades can slip into the figurative captain's chair and work its magic. Those blues are coming on pretty strong now, so I'm really describing it so clear, but pretty sure it'll work. Yeah, those blues are pretty strong. Guess time to sleep now, and yeah. Drugs. Bird. Mr. Tate, this mail concerns Apollo Archive submission 00002386-. Oh, that's what it was. Your 666 submission is in 5 days, and oh, what a doozy. Despite earlier warnings inappropriate materials, you chose to submit 265 holographic remasters of acknowledged classics of extreme exploitation cinema. Allow me to then thank you on 2 counts for giving me the pleasure of rejecting your submission, thereby conjugating your favorite Eastern European torture flicks and their ilk to the dust heap of oblivion. It truly warms my heart to know that I have saved the future of humanity from the ordeal of experiencing not just one, but all 16 installments of making a millipede. Oh, the old human centipede. Don't worry, the Pasoli material has already been preserved. Extreme perhaps, but art. Clarifying concept has so long been ambiguous and ethically fraught with archivists such as myself. The definition of obscenity. You have freed me from suggestive quagmire embodied in Judge Potter's famous utterance. I know it when I see it. Thanks to you, I can now apply a single objective criterion. If Travis Hay submitted it, it's obscene. Accordingly, I have directed Apollo staff to summarily reject all of your future submissions sight unseen. Perhaps you would like to invest your time you would have spent preparing future submissions on, I don't know, your assigned work. We have a world to save after all, or the rest of us do anyway. We gotta make Hades.
Looks like the only way onwards.
so much lore.
Welcome to Eleuthia, the crown and king of Gaia's subordinate functions. For it is by Eleuthia that the human race will continue to exist. I am Patrick Brochard-Klein, the Alpha in charge of this program. Now let one thing be perfectly clear from the outset. Eleuthia is not a genetic engineering project. Our goal is to preserve the human genome, not alter it. A snapshot of human genetic diversity, literally frozen in time. The genetic quintessence of our species, unmodified. Under my watch, our activities and initiatives will comply with the 2034 clone provisions and the 2048 Raleigh Accords. Now that may seem a quaint, even trivial concern to you in light of present circumstances, but as one of the authors of the Accords, it is far from trivial to me. The practical challenges before us are staggering in scope and complexity, but not insurmountable. No. Global collation and provisional storage of zygotes, perfection of exogenic technologies, design and perfection of servitors, to provide nurture and inculcation during early child development. All of these program components must and will proceed in tandem. To say nothing of the breakneck construction of cradle facilities at sites around the world. So, si vous êtes prêts, let us begin.
Chambers. FZ chambers. The electronic chambers arrived 2 days ago. I've spent the last 36 hours examining them and poring over technical documentation. A revelation astonishing. I don't know what you had to give Far Zenith FZ. What you had to give Far Zenith to trade in order to get these chambers, but it was worth it. In a single leap, their embryologists have vaulted past 50 years of technological shortcomings. Risks of ECMO resolved. Nutrition delivery resolved. Hormonal stability resolved. 12 other risk areas resolved. Before I examined these chambers, I considered the Odyssey to be a fool's errand, but if the rest of FZ's technology is at this level, well, a human colony around Cyrus doesn't seem so impossible after all. So they did send something, I would assume, to Cyrus, to the next planet, the Alpha Centauri. Mass fabrications of the chambers will present a number of challenges, but I'm confident that they can be resolved. I'm going to rest for a few hours, then get back to it. Expect the fabrication plan within 48 hours. Is there anything this way or no? I don't think so. It looks like the way to go is left here. There's a thing back there as well. Alright, riddle sealed. Eleuthia 01 was successfully sealed before the swarm advancing across Xinjiang province could detect it. Ping back from crucial systems is good. For our maiden voyage, a success. Regards my disputes with the betas over zygote selection. Of course, I understand we have limited overhead to run simulations of gene flow in our future humans, but we can all agree there is a margin for refinement in future cradle populations. Donic, in addition to personally overseeing completion of the Eleuthia 02 site instead of Mount Namuli, I will formulate and propose a modified zygote selection plan within the week. Okay. Development of the artificial personae for cradle servers, nurturer, disciplinarian, healer, continues at a great pace. We are targeting Turing 0.4 for these constructs. This should allow low-grade empathy and limited improvisation without undermining adherence and codified behavior sets. Stimulus-driven switching of personae, however, is proving to be a greater software challenge than anticipated. Especially concerning are entrenched feedback loops between the disciplinarian and healer personae. I have also attached the reports from the incident where a servitor running mother personae intervened on a disciplinarian's servitor behavior. Parental argument, if you will, assuming at first glance perhaps, but deeply concerning. Assuming on first glance, but perhaps, but deeply concerning. I have attached a comprehensive plan for correcting these interactive protocol shortcomings. I'm in just a corrupt. Okay.
Cradle facilities. Elizabeth said a new generation of humans would be spawned inside such places.
She did.
All Mother Mountain. It was one of them?
There's only one way to be sure.
The hatch wouldn't open. Something about a corrupted alpha registry. I need to search Elizabeth's office. Wet. But I tan this leather well. It'll keep.
Oh, I need to, yeah. I know why that's there. Got it. I need to climb up. More lore.
Looks like it used to hold something.
Nuts would benefit from antilopinate morphologies, though Camprid forms show superior load-bearing capability. You're a quick study, Gaia. Dr. Sobek, as I have conducted this comparative analysis of mammalian morphologies, I've gathered extensive data on the Quaternary extinction event. Oh? And your assessment? Gaia? Logically speaking, the extinction was a natural consequence. And yet, I find the loss of megafaunal species unaccountably sad. That they passed forever into oblivion causes me to experience a grief that is difficult to describe. Am I malfunctioning? No, Gaia, you're not. This is good. It's very good.
The fucking roof is caving in, apparently.
You will undergo a brief period of unconsciousness during relocation to Prime and final instatement.
Elizabeth, may I speak outside protocol?
When you're back up and running at the new site, we'll bring the subordinate functions online and see where we
Mother
stand.
Mountain is probably where she is.
I detect
at the start of the game.
Are you all right?
I'm fine.
I realize that circumstances compel us to launch earlier than we hoped, but all subsystems are operational. The odds stand in our favor.
But what if... Gaia, there's nothing left out there. You can't even survive unless you're wearing an environmental suit. There are billions dead, in fear and agony. What if it was all for nothing?
Elizabeth, extinction was inevitable. Thanks to you, life will have a future.
You really believe that?
I believe in you, Elizabeth. In you. All things.
Ooh. Try open door. I'll do that in a second. Want to see if there's any more lore. There is lore.
Pure logic won't cut it, Ted. To pull this off, Gaia's going to need to have some skin in the game. It has to care.
What if it runs amok? Have we learned nothing from our mistakes?
Your mistakes, I think you mean?
All I'm saying is give it a kill switch.
She was just born, Ted. I'm not gonna put a gun to her head while she's still in the cradle.
You talk like it's a child. What if it becomes a monster?
Elizabeth, may I speak outside protocol?
Of course, Gaia, go on.
I'm sorry to contradict you, but Mr. Farrow's argument is sound. At this point, the development of my psyche is not entirely predictable. To ensure preservation of life, a hardwired override is, I believe, a necessary safeguard.
There. Satisfied, Ted?
Jeez, Liz, just do what it says.
Okay. It's very unique. It's like nothing else I've ever heard of for a Extinction story. Odyssey has failed. Terrible news, I'm afraid. Far Zenith has informed me that the Odyssey mission has failed. Last night, telemetry indicated a catastrophic antimatter containment failure. All the drives spun up to depart the solar system. Ship, its crew, its cargo of Zugotes and Steeds, the Alphabet of Apollo, all were lost. Zero Dawn is now the only hope for the continuation of the human species and its life. We must succeed. This is Elizabeth. They tried and it didn't work.
Probably going to need it.
Drop that in a second. Coming along, Liz, I'm positive about it. And if those words can still mean anything, I have my sleeves rolled up negotiating with frozen zoos for their samples. So many species trapped in ghoulish hologram dioramas, suspended in what-ifs, more than 14,000 that went extinct between 2000 and 2043. Yikes. Sorry about that. We started mapping out primary succession, selecting the pioneer organisms for a balanced and sustainable biosphere, microorganisms and insects, rabbits and hawks, foxes, wolves, thousands more that will have to wait their turns until our new generation can be entrusted with the duty of restoring them. They can return to a world that, this time, will understand the concept of conservation before it's too late. There's already been too many lates. We lost a whole collection team during the swarm breakthrough in Myanmar. The samples were lost there were irreplaceable. Thanks to you, Liz, the circle of life will bend, not break. The Earth was a lifeless rock before, but then someday it will be again, but not now, not like this, not on our watch. Bronson. Yeah, is that it? Is it all the lore?
The Alpha Registry master file.
Intact?
Yeah. No signs of corruption.
Then what are you waiting for? Copy the file.
With this, I can restore the registry at the hatch inside Allmother. Open it. Go inside.
And grasp the secrets within.
Where I was born. Maybe who gave birth to me.
Who? Are you really so naive? There will be no who waiting for you there, Aloy. Whatever birthed you into the world was a what, not a who.
You bastard.
Oh no, I had a legitimate birth. It's you, Aloy, who are the creation of a machine. But what kind of machine and why? Why were you created?
Eclipse.
You need to get out of there. What you found is too valuable. You're too valuable.
I've got the file on my Omni device. I ain't scared of these motherfuckers. Granada! Way to go, Paul.
Still alive. Good. I have a more suitable death in mind for you, child.
No.